Hey everybody, it's Brooke with The Buttered Home and welcome to my messy kitchen. We have a wonderful recipe to show you today. It is one that you can take with that Christmas leftover ham that you have and make into a real thing of beauty. Today we're going to be showing you how to make Monte Cristo Casserole. And it's so easy, and it's one that you can make ahead of time and store in the refrigerator even overnight until you get ready to cook it. It's fantastic for breakfast, brunch, lunch, or supper. So it's a really versatile casserole, and it takes your leftover Christmas ham and it turns it into something just completely different and very flavorful. So it's really just a few basic ingredients. Most of them are standard pantry staples that you already have. We're using French bread that we have left over from Christmas, but you can use any kind of day old or leftover bread that you might have in your kitchen. French bread to me though holds up better because when it's a little old, it's a little crispy, a little crusty, and it tends to hold the milk and egg mixture very well. So we're going to show you how to do it now. So we have a large casserole dish that we're going to lightly spray with some canola oil. And then we have taken our French bread loaf and we have just cut it into little 1/2 inch to 1 inch cubes, and we're going to take half of that bread and put it in the bottom of our lightly greased pan. Now I have taken Swiss cheese because Swiss is a good complement to salty, briny ham, and I have just cubed it up into similar size of cubes, and we're going to put all those cubes in this middle layer and just sprinkle those throughout, because this is going to be a beautiful cheesy casserole. And we're doing this in layers. So now we're going to take our ham, and we have about, the Swiss cheese is about 1/2 pound of diced or shredded Swiss cheese, whichever you prefer. I like to have the big hunks. And then the ham is about 1 pound of our leftover ham that we have cubed up into similar sizes. All right, now to this, we are going to add our first flavor enhancer, and that is about 1 tablespoon of water and about 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. And we're just going to whisk those together in a small bowl and just drizzle that over the top. And like I said, this is a casserole, so it's all about your layers. You have a nice little surprise here in the center of this. Now we're going to take the rest of our bread and create a top layer with it. Even our breadcrumbs. Now, there you have it. Now to this, we are going to take about 1 1/4 cup milk and 6 eggs, and I'm just going to gently whisk those together. And then we're going to add in about 1/2 teaspoon of salt and about 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper, and then about 2 teaspoons of sugar and about 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And we're going to mix those up. Now this is all the portion that you can do a day ahead. You want this to sit and kind of marry together in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours. So make sure that if you're making this today, that you give yourself enough time to let all this bread soak up all this wonderful egg and milk mixture. So we're just going to pour that over the top evenly. Then we're going to cover it and refrigerate it for at least 2 hours, up to overnight. And what will happen is when you take it out of the refrigerator, you will see that that bread has absorbed all of that milk and egg mixture. And that's what gives it this wonderful, when you bake it, this wonderful texture. So now we're going to talk about what we do to that before we put it into the oven. So when you take it out and uncover it, you won't have to stir it or anything. You'll just want to make this beautiful topping to crumble over the top. It's almost like a crumble. So what that consists of is about 1/4 cup of softened butter. And I have found that if I cube my butter, that it softens a little quicker, comes to room temperature faster. And then 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And then to this, we're going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. Now, if you're not a nutmeg fan, feel free to leave this out. But nutmeg in small quantities, especially when you couple that with brown sugar, just adds a little warmth without being too sweet. I actually prefer it to cinnamon sometimes, as it just adds that little hint of something special. Now, this is just a crumble. So you just want to kind of cream those together just until they're combined. And then whenever you take your casserole out of the fridge, you will sprinkle this on top, and then you will bake it at 375 degrees for about 30 to 40 minutes. So when that happens, it becomes this beautiful thing that's not really breakfast, it's not really brunch, it's not really supper, but it becomes something that's just wonderful. So we're going to allow ours to sit in the fridge, put that crumble on it, and then we're going to bake it. We're going to come back and we're going to show you an easy, beautiful raspberry sauce to go with it, and then we're going to serve it up. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, we are back. Our Monte Cristo Casserole has finished its 30 to 40 minute cook time, and you can see it's gorgeous and brown, and that bread is crispy around the edges. The cheese is good and melted, and all it is set. The egg and milk mixture sets up in there and makes almost like a quiche consistency. So that's why you have the short cook time, because your ham is already cooked. So this is just combining all those beautiful flavors together to have the savory and the sweet, along with just a little hint of that Dijon mustard that makes it wonderful. And just to show you the cheesy, wonderful goodness, we're going to pull it up and plate it, and it is just, I mean, just fantastic. All good and cheesy and wonderful. Now, I know you're thinking to yourself, how can we make something so good be so much better? And we're going to show you now a really easy, quick tip on how to make a wonderful raspberry sauce to serve with this. So easy, it's not even a recipe. So we're going to show you how to do that now. So what I have here is I have about 1 cup of red raspberry preserves. Now you can use preserves, you can use jam. I wouldn't use jelly because you want something with just a little more body in it. And then we're going to bring that to medium to high heat with just about 1/4 cup of water. And all the water does is it helps just break those preserves down and thin them just a little bit so that they can become a beautiful sauce. Now this, like the ham, is already cooked. So you're just taking it and just changing the state of it from a semi-solid to a liquid. And it's already got all that natural fruit pectin in it. So it will become a thick sauce because we've added just a tad of water to it. So that was 1 cup of preserves to about 1/4 cup of water. And you can certainly start off with about half that amount of water if you wanted to just make sure that it's not too thin to your liking. And this happens really quickly over medium to high heat. You just want to make sure that you have a full liquid state and that those preserves have broken down with that water. And it can be as thick or as chunky or as thin as you want it. And it just doesn't take long at all. I'm going to turn my heat off. And then I'm going to pour this in a beautiful serving dish. Set this aside. And we have it ready. And then it's ready. You can allow it to come to room temperature if you'd like, or it is good just like this. And you just take it and drizzle that over the top of that Monte Cristo casserole, and you have even more, just a little bit sweet to go with your savory casserole that you have. So this is a great, really filling, kind of heavy way to reuse that Christmas ham or Easter ham, or just if you had a taste of ham and maybe bought too much. It's a wonderful idea for food gifting, as well as any special occasion such as brunches that you have with the family or any friends gathering. You could even serve it as a semi-dessert. So we love recipes like this that you can take and make into any meal or any occasion, whether it just be for supper on a Tuesday night, because we've done that too. So we hope that you've enjoyed this Monte Cristo casserole recipe. Be sure that you have checked out our website at thebutteredhome.com and that you have signed up to be a VIP email list member there. That will be on our website at thebutteredhome.com. Also, make sure you're following us on all of our social channels, such as YouTube here. And if you're not already, hit the subscribe button and ding the bell so that you can be notified whenever we drop new videos. Also, don't forget our other social media channels that you'll find here at Instagram and at Facebook. We cook live every Monday night over there at Instagram and Facebook, and we would love to have you join us there. So be sure to drop us a comment, give us a thumbs up if you like this video, and head over to The Buttered Home to check us out there. So be sure you're following us here so that you can see when our next video drops. And as usual, from The Buttered Home to your home, we love y'all. Bye.